Welcome to the Cabral Concept, where board-certified naturopath and integrative health practitioner Dr. Stephen Cabral shares how he was diagnosed at the age of 17 with a life-altering illness and given no hope for recovery. It was only after studying and traveling all over the world did he discover how to combine ancient Ayurvedic healing practices with state-of-the-art naturopathic and functional medicine to fully rebalance the body and re-energize it with life. It's time to discover how to get well, lose weight, and finally feel alive again. And now, here's your host, Dr. Stephen Cabral.
Hi, everyone, and welcome back to the show. Great to have you here. Excited to be able to dive into our second Cabral HouseCall of the weekend, answering our community's questions each and every weekend, Saturdays and Sundays. Hopefully, you're able to tune in. We really go over so many interesting topics. And the truth is, I never know where it's going to take us. So we start off as one question, and then it might lead to a different path that we go down. So it's a fun show. It really is. And hopefully, you've been tuning in for the past few years on our Cabral House Calls. And of course, if any of these topics ever, because a lot of times they're not going to be about you, right? But if you have friends, you have family members that this might be affecting them, it's a great way to be able to pass this show along to them. So hopefully they can start to learn. Remember, health is not a one-day thing. It's not a one-day learning. There's no one seminar or one book where you learn it all. So hopefully what you can do is you kind of move through the process of every day accumulating a little bit more health knowledge. And as you do, you start to see more connections. And as you make more connections, you can begin to ask why in a much better manner and finally get to that root cause that's holding you back from living the life that you want, right? Achieving the wellness, the weight loss, and the anti-aging effects that you're looking for. So I know you can do it. I really do. There's always an answer for everyone. I found my answers and now simply trying to, again, pay it forward, share it with you, and then hopefully one day you'll share it with others as well, whether you're an IHP or whether you're just a health fan and you want to learn as much as you can. All right, let's get into the questions. This first question today is actually coming in from April 4th, and this show is being published on May 16th. So we're right around, again, we're always around that 5-6 week mark. That's good. So again, it takes about 5 to 6 weeks to get your answer to your question when you write in at stephencabral.com/ask Cabral. But always stay tuned because you never know whether it's going to be 4 weeks, 7 weeks, 8 weeks. We've been all the way to 13 weeks before, but we caught back up. All right. Jen is up next. We always hear about hemoglobin A1C being too high and that being a concern. But I'd like to understand if hemoglobin A1C can be considered too low. If so, what would be the cause of that? What can be done for it? I learned in IHP that the ideal range is 4 to 5.6, but my number is 3.6 on my lab. I struggle with hypoglycemia symptoms. Could that be related? So here's the thing. I actually don't believe I have this conversation with my team because I teach, obviously I teach inside of the Integrative Health Practitioner Institute, but I teach my own Equal Life team as well. So we go over this. I believe that hemoglobin A1C and the machines that test that are calibrated between like maybe 4, 4.5, and let's say 7 or so. I don't know that they're calibrated very well below that 4.5 and maybe above a 7 or something like that. And the reason why I say that is that you can really only be so low on hemoglobin A1C because when we start to, and I've given these reference ranges before, you start to really dip into like the 50s, when you're in the 3s for that hemoglobin A1C. And that's certainly possible. There's no doubt about it, but I just wonder. So this is what I say though, because Jen, you're absolutely correct. But what it correlates is this. We say, okay, we don't know exactly the reference range there, but we do know that this person is more prone to low blood sugar and hypoglycemia. Again, have to give you my caveat. I'm not diagnosing disease on the show, nor am I giving medical advice such as treatment protocols or cures. Now, let's talk about, though, the facts. So, interesting. Okay. Hypoglycemia, low blood sugar, low hemoglobin A1C, there's a connection. So what we have to say is, well, what can we do? Well, hypoglycemia will always continue until you re-regulate the hypothalamus pituitary adrenal axis. So I had to re-regulate mine. I did that. Great. But even though I did that, just genetically, my genotype is going to definitely have me trend more towards lower blood sugar. Now, knowing that, I eat a little bit more protein. I'm not a lot, but I eat a normal amount of protein. For me, I don't overeat a lot of protein, about 25 grams or so at a meal to 30 grams at lunch and dinner. And I eat 3 meals a day, typically. And that's it. So protein, fiber, carbs, I get enough at each meal. That tied me over for the 4 or 5 hours I have between meals. And if I'm ever doing exercise, then sometimes I have one of my organic whole food bars before that. Sometimes I have a smoothie before it. Sometimes, well, those are the two main things that I do before it, but sometimes I'll have another apple or a piece of fruit. So that's what I do so that I don't drop into hypoglycemia during my workout. Because if I drop in low blood sugar during my workout, a lot of people might be like, oh, no, that's fantastic. You're going to be pushing your mitochondria to a greater level, this, that, and the other things. It's just going to stress my nervous system to a greater degree. I'm going to start to break down more muscle tissue if I don't already break down more liver glycogen. So it's just, again, that can be fine for other people. But for me, where I'm especially not looking for weight loss, it's not great for me. So what we really need to do is work on your HPA axis. I'm sure that if you ran this and you're looking at your IHP notes as well, that you're going to want to most likely use some adrenal soothe, some full spectrum magnesium, some zinc, some vitamin C to get those adrenals working properly as well. Then you'll want to be using your meditation, your binaural beats, get your enough sleep, reframe your thinking, all of those different things that I teach inside of the Rain Barrel Effect, and of course, in depth inside of IHP. All right. So Jen, hopefully that's helpful. Karima is up next. Hi, Doc. Love your content. You're doing an incredible job. Thank you, Karima. I'm a 23-year-old healthy woman trying to optimize my health as much as possible. I've done several of your protocols: parasites, detox, CBO finisher, exercise regularly, sleep well, meditate, eat well, take the DNS, omega-3, zinc, magnesium, vitamin D, CBD oil, B complex, and digestive enzymes on a daily basis. I'm diving deeper. Diving deeper and deeper into biohacking because I want to optimize my performance at work. I'm an entrepreneur, and I just started taking Coenzyme Q10 on top of the other supplements. Also started taking MCT oil, added to my smoothies. Questions are, do you think that there is detrimental effect of taking CoQ10 if I'm 23? Could my body develop a dependency on it? Any other supplements you have seen in your experience that are great for boosting mental performance, creativity, focus, and efficiency? All right, great question, Karima, and I'm glad you're asking this at 23. At 23 years old, you want to use the Daily Foundation Protocol Level 2 or Level 3, which is exactly what you're doing. Then you probably just want to add on the immunity protocol, which you're doing except for vitamin C. That's it. I would not take anything else if I were you, if you are a healthy, strong, energetic 23-year-old, okay? Everything else should be based on your labs. Now, having said that, I love nutritional supplements. And if you're looking for others to take, would you want to start taking CoQ10? I don't think so. I don't think that's the first product you go for. And if you're taking CoQ10, you want to be using a product called ubiquinol. It's just the best to absorb, okay? So ubiquinol is going to get you the most bang for your buck. But, most supplements are around $30 to $40. Just for a regular capsule-based product. A good CoQ10, $50 to $60. You can get kind of like two. I always look at it as like, how can I use my dollars here? You can probably get two other supplements to equal CoQ10. And if you don't need CoQ10, there's really not a need to use it. You might, if you're looking for clarity of mind and energy, a couple ones that are probably not going to be detrimental would be using like D-ribose, right? So you might want to try that. Might want to try a 5-carbon sugar, which doesn't add calories, doesn't spike blood sugar. You could try D-ribose in your coffee or smoothie in the morning, 5 to 10 grams a day. Creativity, focus, efficiency. I want to just be careful here that we don't start using neurotransmitters, especially at 23. I don't think that we should increase your tyrosine or phenylalanine or any of these things with a lot of neuro precursors. Can be great if you need it, but definitely not if you don't need it. You seem like you're doing well. I wouldn't overdo this. I really wouldn't overdo it. I would do other things as well. I would optimize your sleep. I would optimize using like binaural beats and meditation and all those other things. That's what I would do. All right, great question though, Karima. Tab is up next. Hi, first of all, thanks for all you do. I will be joining the IHP school in the fall, and I've already started directing people I love in your direction for their health and wellness needs. Thanks, Tab. I appreciate that. My question is about metabolism. I've heard someone say recently that to speed up metabolism is actually not good for longevity due to being accelerated cell division. They equated accelerated cell division to early aging and death. Their point was to eat things that are more nutritionally dense so their body uses it better. Long story short, I'm just conflicted on the issue of metabolism and want to be able to coach my clients with the truth. Thanks again, and God bless. All right, appreciate that, Tab. So here's the deal. Both sides of the equation are right. If you speed up metabolism, you can speed up cell death. Apoptosis, you can speed up heart rate. Those things typically could lead to an earlier death. However, the more anabolic you make yourself, the more risk there is for strokes, cardiovascular disease, type 2 diabetes, and cancer. So that's not good either. So it's like, well, what do? Do we trend more catabolic, typically faster metabolic rate, or more anabolic, typically a little slower metabolic rate? Well, the answer is you don't know until you begin to work with your body type. So if you're someone that's more catabolic, more vata body type, more ectomorph body type, what do? Well, you follow more of your friend's advice. Nutritionally dense foods, a little bit heavier foods, maybe a little bit more, I don't even know if your friend gave you this advice, a little bit more anabolic, because your body's wasting faster. It's breaking down faster. Now, let's say you're an endomorph, tendency towards weight gain, higher blood sugar, accumulation, right? Well, what do? You're following a more catabolic-based diet. And I teach all of this inside of IHP, so I know that you'll get a lot of benefit out of that, whether you're just looking to use it for yourself or coaching-based clients, all right? So again, the answer is not who's right, it's what is right for whom. And I don't know if that's proper English, but let's go with it. All right. My wife makes fun of me for my use of verbiage and then and then all the time. Jackie's up next. Hi, Dr. Cabral. I hope you're having a good day. I hope you're having a good day as well. I'm an IHP and I'm writing on behalf of my 27-year-old client. He has completed the Big 5 labs and we've been working on the process, modified CBO, heavy metal detox, 21-day functional medicine detox. He's lost over 20 pounds and feels great, generally overly healthy. The only issues remaining are the swelling on the whole right side of the body and sometimes pain in the lower right abdomen. My question is, why swelling on just one side? I could see if he had an injury to a specific area that could cause swelling, but it just seems odd to be the whole right side of the body. He does have one kidney that is quite smaller than the other, but all the conventional medicine tests and Big 5 labs came back saying his kidneys are healthy, functioning normally. Any idea of where to look? Thanks for all you do. Okay. Yeah, this is actually more of a medical-based question. And in my opinion, there's a medical issue here. And I was going to say kidneys or liver. Your liver's on the right side. And obviously, I don't know which kidney it is, but if I had to venture a guess, I would say the kidney on the right side is not functioning as well. But do I provide medical diagnoses here on the podcast? I don't. Do I provide medical advice here? I don't. I recommend seeing a specialist for this. You should not have swelling on one side of the body. There is something wrong. And as an IHP, your job is to help rebalance at a underlying root causal level. This could be a medical condition. You still work with your client, but you need to sub out, get a clearance. Something's going on here. What's going on? Let's figure it out. One doctor tells you it's okay. You're a general practitioner. Fine. Ask for a specialist though. Let's see what's going on. Is there a filtration issue on the right side of that kidney, on the liver? What's going on here? Let's take a look. So that's what I recommend. Now it could not be that. Might not be that. Maybe it is an issue with instead of the kidney, which is the back of the right waist, and then the front of the waist is the liver. So again, that's probably it. But let's say it's not that, because again, we don't know. It could be the ascending colon or ileocecal valve that's inflamed as well. And that can happen too with bacterial buildup, sometimes near the appendix. So have their doctor check the appendix as well. And again, we've done many Cabral HouseCalls where I've given this type of advice. They've gone to their doctor and their doctor's like, oh yeah, there is something wrong in the appendix with the liver, the gallbladder, or the kidney. So again, not medical advice, but let's make sure we help everybody to the best of our ability, and we recommend medical specialists when needed. All right, Lena is up next. Hello, been listening to your podcast for a few years now, and it's completely changed my life. Thank you, Lena. My fasted sugar, and I'm very happy for you. I think that's, amazing, absolutely amazing. And we appreciate you writing in. So Lena's saying, my fasted sugar is between 110 and 120. Not the big 5 or 21-day detox, not even during it. Fatlocity or other types of yearly cleanses have helped me find the cause solution for that number. The only time I managed to keep it under 100 was doing keto for 6 months, counting macros. Your podcast educates me enough to know I don't want to do that as my long-term lifestyle choice. I'm trying to eat a mostly plant-based, gluten-free, fiber-fueled diet. I eat 3 times a week and I exercise 3 times a week and go beyond 12,000 steps daily. Have my last meal at 3 hours before bed, take berberine and sleep well. So apparently I'm doing all the right things for the past 3 years and nothing seems to help me lower that number. I also struggle with weight loss. My endocrinologist said nothing could be done right now, but to wait a few years until I actually did become diabetic and then could get a prescription that could help me manage it. I don't want to follow that advice. I want to continue trying to find the root cause and stop it from becoming diabetes. Since it runs in my family, I don't know where to look next. Thank you for giving us this space. Lena, I'm happy to help. And you're working hard, and so you deserve an answer. Absolutely do. So, okay, let's look at it. I always ask people, hey, what worked? What worked for you is going very low carb. Okay, so we go very low carb. Interesting. Well, when we do the 21-day detox and we do the Fatlocity, those are low carb, not low vegetable, but low starch for those 21 days. So my biggest recommendation would be, Lena, do this. Get a continuous glucose monitor. I've given recommendations before in the past. There are many places that you can get them now, even without a prescription. Use the continuous glucose monitor to actually look at, hey, what's your blood sugar all day long? Like, what's going on? And I'm sure that you're doing 12, 14-hour, 16-hour fasts. I'm sure that you're stopping eating around 5, 6 o'clock at the latest at night, and that you're following my Fatlocity protocol of still doing 3 meals per day, but maybe breaking that fast around 10 a.m. And then using the apple cider vinegar that I've taught you. So if you haven't gone through the Fatlocity course, please do so. It's really, really going to be helpful for you. So using Fatlocity, going through the course can be extremely helpful. Just remember, this is not a quick fix. Getting new cells with new cell receptors for insulin takes 12 to 16 weeks. Okay. So that's the minimum. So you've already been doing it. I get it. I understand. But then we need to gradually introduce some of those carbs. For you, maybe again, you definitely have the genetics for it. Okay. So for you, it might always be lots of vegetables and a little bit of some berries, some fruit. That could be great for you. You can still get 50, 75 carbs a day with really good quality vegetables. And you might even do some green juices for extra nutrients without all the carbs. This could be really, really great. So, but here's the thing. We've got more going on here. And I think you said you did the big 5, but we want to look at your thyroid. We want to look at your adrenals in terms of cortisol. We want to look at your insulin levels. What's going on? I mean, what is going on inside of your body? Is there any signs of PCOS? So what we want to look at is, sure, daily foundational protocol, no doubt about it. Fatlocity, yes, okay. Make sure you're getting your omega-3s in. Berberine, fantastic. Make sure the dosage is high enough to act as something that's going to help with blood sugar. The glucose support that I've spoken about before, you can find that at Equilife, equa.life, EQUI.LIFE. Make sure you're getting your magnesium in there. Your sleep is proper, that you're getting sleep during the right time, that you're getting cardio in as well, not just your steps, but get some cardio in there as well, in addition to your strength training, and you're looking good. So keep it up, keep on track, keep fighting the good fight. You'll get there. All right, Sarah's up next. Last question of the day. I've noticed that when I eat a lot of processed foods and sugar, not only do I get the immediate bloating and puffiness the next day, but when I keep that up for several consecutive days, the areas around my genitals, anus, and armpits get itchy and get little bumps, which might be hives. My affected armpits get a distinct yeasty smell and stops emitting regular body odor. I'm aware this has something to do with candida overgrowth, but can you tell me why I get the itchiness in those specific areas? It's like my telltale sign that I've overdone it and need to get back on track with healthy eating. I just want to understand why this happens. Happy to answer this for you. And Sarah, thank you. Appreciate you writing in. So honestly, it's a fairly easy answer. People that already have yeast and candida overgrowth inside internally in the gut, right, in the small intestine, can also have yeast and fungal-based overgrowth on the skin and the rest of the body as well. So where would fungus typically grow? Dark, moist areas. The groin area, under the armpits, behind the ears, under the breasts or under the chest, that's where it will typically grow. So when you get yeast overgrowth or skin rashes in those areas, it can oftentimes be related to yeast. And when you feed them with all this processed food and sugar, what happens? Well, it begins to overgrow. And that's where we start to get the symptoms. So biggest recommendation, run that Candida metabolic and vitamins labs test. And if you don't want to run it for confirmation, okay, no problem. Understood. You can just begin, again, this is not medical advice. You could choose to begin the CBO protocol with the citracidal drops. Follow that. Follow the nutrition plan that comes along with it, and then do the CBO finisher. And again, Sarah, thank you for it in. Thank you, everyone, for your time today. I truly appreciate you. I really do. I really mean that. Your support means the world to me. Love being able to do this podcast. And again, without you, it's not happening. So thank you so much. I hope you've had a great weekend, and be sure to tune in tomorrow for our Motivation and Mindset Monday. I'll talk with you then. Take care. Thank you so much for just tuning into the show. And as a valued listener, before you go, I want to make sure you are one of the first to know of what is going on right now over at equa.life. We are giving away one of our most popular products for reducing stress, calming the central nervous system, maintaining healthy hair, skin, and nails, changing carbohydrates into usable fuel and energy, and also improving the overall absorption of your B vitamins. B vitamins are absolutely needed for so many of the different functions in your body that go on with the brain, the nervous system, and the regeneration of our cells of our body. So what we do is we make sure, yes, that we provide that B complex in our daily nutritional support. But for many people who need a boost in energy or need to really fight that aging-based process or calm the stress and central nervous system, this is absolutely the product for them. It's also really easy to use. You can use your daily nutritional support shake in the morning, and you can take one activated B complex at lunch and another at dinner, and you are done for all day energy. This is also a full B complex, which means it includes thiamine and riboflavin and niacin and vitamin B6, folate, B12, biotin, pantothenic acid, choline, which is so great for the brain, and then it has all of the methyl donors and inositol as well. So again, this is a full B complex with all of the methylated B vitamins, of course, because that is exactly what the human body looks like, and that is what it's able to absorb. So right now we are giving away about 500 bottles. So we're giving away a lot of these, but they will go fast. And so these are on all orders over $99 while supplies last over at equa.life. This is a $30 value. So head on over, grab your free bottle while supplies last at equi.life. Take care, everyone.